What's going on, guys? Today we've got another video for you, and we're going to discuss what we think is this year's sophomore scam. Akira, you want to take it away?
We're only talking about running backs, a scam that we think is going to be, or a player that we think is going to be an absolute scam this year. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Look at that, dude. All right, so I can just start off. Big thing about CEH, cap space, free agency. There are a couple questions coming up that we'll get into a little later. In addition to that, they're gonna have to use their funds in the other areas. In addition to that, with the COVID situation, they had one of their main backs from last year out, Mr. Williams, the main one. Um,
True.
so they're gonna be returning him. In addition to that, eye test. He's just not explosive. Let's just keep it real. I mean, even in college, he struggled to run away from DBs, and we especially saw that this year as most of his runs were capped out at 20 yards maximum, with his average lower than the league average.
So first up, we've got Chiefs free agency. So there's a couple of things that we kind of wanted to look at. First of all, is that 5 of their offensive linemen are going to be free agents this year, and we're not saying that all 5 are going to leave, but we think there could be some at least potential for them to leave and some uncertainty on that front. Specifically within those 5, they're starting center, left guard, and right guard um, are free agents. And of course, we just saw that their right tackle and left tackle got injured last season. So the offensive line is not as, or could not be as strong as we expect. And additionally, the Mahomes contract is starting to kick in. So last year, Mahomes was under contract for $5 million, and this upcoming season he's under contract for $24 million. And as we know, with his $500 million contract over 10 years, it's only going up from 24 million. So in the future, the stability in terms of offensive weapons and the offensive line more uh, particularly is definitely questionable.
I mean, adding on to that, I mean, I did break down this a little earlier, but there's high amounts of competition in this backfield. They all do different things too. I mean, the thing about CEH is he's going to be the main runner between the tackles and running on the outside, but he's not going to be the main ball catcher. They have 2 other backs that can do that. And he's not going to be the red zone guy. So he could rack up 80, 90 yards throughout the course of the game, but his touchdowns last year was he only scored, got in the end zone 4 times. And that's without Damian Williams playing. With him, we expect that probably be around the same. It could even drop off. In addition to that, I mean, just the red zone touches aren't there. I mean, it's a major red flag for us.
Right. And I think another thing we wanted to add was that we saw on third down that CEH was almost never on the field, and Daryl Williams was replacing him as the pass blocking and pass catching back on most uh, third down plays. So we don't think that Andy Reid has at least the confidence right now um, in CEH on those passing plays.
Yeah, if I can just add one last thing, like
Right.
um, for running backs at least, we want usage in the red zone. Like that's where they can get the most points because they have highest likelihood of scoring a touchdown. And his usage in the red zone this season was below average. Like guys like Taysom Hill are getting the same amount of red zone carries as him. And even if he gets carries in the red zone, he is not converting it into any sort of relevant points. He had 9 carries inside the 5 this year and only turned one of them into a touchdown. That's so sad.
Yeah,
Like
that's sorry.
no one in the league had 9 rushes inside the 5 and only had 1 touchdown.
So you're saying it's the worst rate in the NFL?
Yeah.
Not a good look for someone who's taken pretty early in rookie drafts and start-off drafts last year.
And that's with him having more share of the pie this season. Next season, you could potentially have a smaller pie and produce less. So it's not a good look.
Yep. And finally, Owen, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but
So, I mean, before we show it, I mean, you guys have probably seen the thumbnail, if we include it. But yeah, this is our comp. We think it's a pretty fair comp. They both went similarly in the real draft. Similar hype coming to the league. And we'll break down why we see it like this. Bang. It's your boy Cheeseburger. All right, so the main reason we see him like Eddie Lacy is if you look at Clyde's build, while he is small, what he lacks in height, he does make up for, I guess, horizontally.
Yep.
Main thing is, this isn't talked about much, but like people have questions about Devonta Smith's weight being too low. We actually have questions about CEH being too high. If you look at the BMI index, like he would technically be classified as obese. Like he could get a COVID shot with the 65-year-olds. Like just think about that. Like that's his group they would be putting him in health terms. I mean, obviously he's healthier than that, but at his weight and height, he does have to carry around that weight because he is so short, which makes him be less explosive and actually takes away kind of his knees and other ligaments faster than we would see in quicker, taller, more lean backs. How we see CH, and that they can have their opinions, but would we give up a mid first in this year's class form, super flex format? No, we would not. Looking at it, he'd be more just because you know kind of what you're getting. You're probably getting a mid. We'd go 17 to 23 type ADP RB. We would, I mean, just because you have a startable player, not necessarily any upside, but a decently high floor. We would not give up a Najee Harris, or at least me. I wouldn't give a Najee Harris, Travis Etienne.
Akira, would you take the shot on Najee Harris and Travis Etienne over CEH as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like maybe even a late first.
Right. But yeah, that'll do it for today, guys. Stick around, like, comment, and let us know what you liked and didn't like in our video. We'll
Don't
listen
get
to your
scammed.
advice.
Don't get scammed. We
Yeah,
got you.
definitely. I would sell on the hype and look into some other players to invest in. We treating
Yes,
this shit
sir.
like stonks. On God. All right. Take care, boys.
This is